Taurus, as the month begins, you're faced with some challenges and a series of ups and downs that has me a bit concerned that you're going to find yourself in a worse position than you were when you start the month. So let's go through this reading and let me give you some advice on how you can manage the situation. My name is Finn, and this is Magic 7 Tarot, and I've already done a Magic 7 Tarot spread for you, had a chance to sit with it, and literally it's like a series of up and downs. And so the ups are pretty up, and the downs can be very challenging. And so as is the case with many things, the more that you could keep your focus on where you're going, the more success you're going to have in terms of navigating this month. This is a lunar return reading, so it represents the month, setting intentions from the time the moon hits Taurus again, either your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, and the month ahead. It's a great time to plant a seed or to renew your intentions about where you're going and what you want to achieve. Okay, let's dig right in here. I'm a bit I'm a bit at odds with how I would like to read this. So one thing I'm going to do is kind of get through the main reading and let's pull some extra cards because I'd like some clarification too. Okay, in the past we have the Arcanum 7, which is in the Brotherhood of Light Tarot. This is the Chariot, and it's an amazing card. It signifies victory or success. It would be success in publishing or public relations, marketing, something like that, or just a sort of sense of being out there. It also could represent faith or religion or spirituality. Okay, so it's like the sort of graduation card, in the tarot. If the tarot is a journey, 7 is that sort of victory over the material realm on some level and going to the next level, the astral realm. That's one way of reading it. Certainly, it's social. It's got lots of energy. It's a fire card. And so in the past, it seems like something worked out for you. And it could represent, obviously, what we're talking about, a general reading for all the people that are watching. And so for me, this energy is all about getting out there, mingling, social life, and success. Some kind of uh, personal victory, let's call it. Now, wherever Sagittarius is in your chart, that's going to give you a little more of a clue of which area of your life is going to be ruled by this card. So if you don't know your chart, I put a link down in the description for astro.com, which is a great place to get a free chart made. And they even do a daily horoscope based on your planets, not the one you read in the newspaper, but one that it's based on your actual horoscope. In fact, a lot of that is done by the work of Liz Green. I'm going to keep this book out because we've got a Saturn card here. So this is Saturn, A New Look at an Old Devil. It's an amazing book. I've had it for years and years and years and years. I have Saturn pretty prominent in my chart, and it's the most powerful planet in my chart and the most discordant. So just to make things extra interesting. So I've always been focused on Saturn, but just to say that this card doesn't have to do with Saturn. I'm suggesting that if you go to astro.com and find out where Sagittarius is in your chart, it's a great clue as to how what you were working on that came to fruition. It's definitely like a completion card. So in the past, something has come to completion or fruition, and you're feeling pretty good about it. Leading into the present, where we have work and struggles. Okay, Two of Swords reversed. In Brotherhood of Light Tarot, reverse doesn't mean negative or worse. It simply means it's hard to get over it or it's harder to manifest. The Two of Swords is definitely like feeling overworked. Sometimes when you have success, you're your own worst enemy. It leads to a lot more work. Like if you started a business back here, okay, and you launched it and everything's feeling exciting and you got it going. Wow, now you got to do the accounting, right? I got to do my taxes. It's a lot of effort, right? And so as I always say, don't struggle against the struggle. It's one thing to be faced with a struggle. It's one thing to, kind of like accept it and work through it. And I think that you have the energy to do that here, um, Taurus. This is the Taurus decadent of Capricorn. It's pretty dry energy, right? Like it's gonna be the grind. Put it that way. Like it really is almost like something great happened, and now you gotta like pay for it, or um, how can I say that? All of these images come at once. Toil. And you're not feeling very happy about it. I mean, if this is a card of success, now you're in the toil of it. Okay. Now, in a love relationship situation, again, because this is general, I can't say it's love or it's this or that, but it could be marital difficulties, trouble in your relationship, and and it's not optimistic. Okay, so in the best of times, that's a lot of hard work to get through a difficult situation. It's responsibility, it's the grind, it's the messy part of relationships. And relationships have the super wow part. Okay, let's go to a party, darling. Let's go out for dinner. Okay. And then they have the disappointments. And there's disappointment here, Taurus. Okay. Uh, write it down. Write down your dreams. Spend a bit of time in nature. Get a good feeling for what you feel. Because, sometimes we're putting on a brave face for other people because we want them to be happy, which is the sense of a relationship, right? You want your partner to be happy and uh, get what they want. But here, it's kind of like you're coming to terms with your own emotions about it, and it's hard. Okay, so accept that it's hard. Boom. Okay, I accept it, Taurus. You could be pretty determined as a person, um, and move through these things, in a way that's methodical. Okay, so make a list about the things you don't like, make a list about the things you'd like to change, and that could be related to business as well. But I sort of feel like this might have to do with your personal relationships. Sorry to give you tough news. There are lots of people who read tarot cards, and some of them are people who are willing to say almost anything to make you happy. Okay, and I'm afraid I'm not that guy, right? I'm the Saturn guy, right? I'm like bad news Finn. I'm not. I feel an obligation to tell you the energies that I see. Okay, to express what I see as like difficulties, because if you have uh forewarned, is lets you be prepared. It's like the weather. I call it the emotional weather report. So stormy weather, right? Like it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. The good news is that we go into the immediate future. We have Arcanum 3, which represent this is Isis unveiled in the Brotherhood of Light Tarot. Marriage action. Those are the two words. But it could also mean the end of something. Okay, but it's with a full heart and a full clarity. Whereas this is like struggled and confused. Okay, this is clear and forthright. And if stuff has to end, if stuff has to fall apart, it has to fall apart. And no amount of holding on to it is going to make it stay together. On the other hand, okay, talking it through can lead to a happier situation, some kind of resolution or acceptance. So I don't want you to be bummed out. There's a lot of energy here. Don't be bummed out. Let me just tell you all this bad news. It's not bad news. It's just energy. Okay. And when we have energy, we can work with the energy. If we know the energy, that's why I always encourage you to look at your chart. Please look at your chart. Find out where your energy is, where the positive parts of your life are. You'll know it. I mean, if you've been living your life for any length of time, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 100 years like me, you're going to know, oh yeah, in those situations I feel more challenged than in other situations. I feel comfortable here, I feel uncomfortable here. Okay? But having clarity, especially when it comes to these cards, is a great situation. Okay, great in the past, tough in the present, much better in the immediate future. Okay, so hang in there, do the work, right? Ask the tough questions, be honest with yourself. Okay, and that'll lead to a better resolution, and resolution can mean positive or negative. Positive in the sense of a happy marriage or a change. Okay, whatever it is, you're going to feel better about it. Okay. Okay, so there's a couple of other pitfalls here. Okay, here's the energy that you can control, that you need to control, the Four of Cups reversed. So Four of Cups, this is a lot of emotion. Okay, and there's two cards here that correspond to Scorpio, and I want you to understand that uh, getting to this place through this place means you have to watch out that your emotional state is not influenced negatively by another person's. In other words, if you have an honest conversation, that's one thing. If in the present you find yourself being coerced or pressured or guilted, okay, those are all red flags that this is not the right situation for you. Or it's not the right situation right now for you. Okay, things change, right? Control your emotional states, control the way you manage your emotions as it relates to other people. Watch out for situations where you feel manipulated. It's as simple as that. You can't be honest if you're being manipulated, right? Right. um this has a lot of, it's Scorpio energy. Okay, so if you have, again, where is Scorpio in your chart? What planets do you have in Scorpio? Are you dealing with a Scorpio person? Scorpio sun, moon, rising, right? I mean, everybody has Scorpio energy somewhere in their chart. Okay, so have a look and see what that says. It's not a happy card, right? This to me represents some kind of emotional responsibility. Okay, and compared to the party that seems to have been going on in the past, this is going to be kind of heavy, not irresolvable, but heavier. That's the way to say it. Okay, again, I'm kind of going faster than I normally would because I want to get through this, because I want to really consult some other cards to sort of see if we can get some clarification on direction here for you. Okay, what is the environment? Is the Arcanum 12. Okay, sacrifice. What do you have to give up here? And I almost feel like giving up could be a thing, or it could be like a sense of expectations on other people. And I think it's more related to the other thing. Um, either way, this card represents change in a way that, okay, let me put it this way. You can give up things that aren't working, or things that aren't working can fall apart. Okay, so either you give it up, right? You say, this is not working. I can't work this way. I don't like the way this feels to me. This is feelings. Or it can all fall apart outside of your control. So, in a sense, this card is asking you to take control of the environmental situations that are asking you to sacrifice something. Hard. This is hard. Uh, uh, Taurus wants to sort of, Taurus is ruled by Venus. I don't know if you know that. So, some people would suggest Taurus are bullheaded and things like that. I don't actually think that. I think more Taurus have a really strong sense of how they want things to go, and how they want them to go is pretty placidly. Okay, they don't want to have a lot of drama. Okay, this card is drama. This card is drama. This card can be dramatic, emotional drama. Okay, So it's going to feel to you outside of your comfort zone. And because of that, you're going to have to adapt. Adapt. Taurus is a fixed sign as well. Adaptation is not your strong suit. I personally have 3 planets in Taurus. And so even though I'm an air sign, Taurus is really at the heart of how I approach the world in a way that would be unexpected. Okay. There's sorrow here, okay? And letting go. Sorrow and letting go. Sometimes we let go. We're happy to let go of that situation. That's not the case here. So you're going to feel heavy, sad. And yet, if you could find the path through that makes the most sense for everyone, when I ask a question, I always ask for myself, the world, and the universe, right? In other words, sometimes the thing that happens to us that maybe isn't the best thing for us, or what we think isn't the best thing, but in retrospect over time, it actually turns out that it was the best thing for us, or is the thing we needed for our growth or development. I mean, we're here to grow, right? And so if there's no struggle, there's no growth. Okay. The 6th card, what opposes you, is a female with Scorpio energy. So that doesn't necessarily mean a Scorpio. Is someone who can be intense, manipulative, also have high expectations. One of the best things about Scorpio is that they have a certain standard, right? A Scorpio is opposed to Taurus in the zodiac. So here you have a Scorpio card. Now, this could be a person, this could be a female person, or it could be a part of yourself. Okay. In this reading, I tend to think of this as a person who's trying to manipulate the situation to their benefit against you. Okay. Now, you might not know, oh, that person's a Scorpio. Okay. Because it could be just their rising sign, or it could be a planet that they have in Scorpio is touching opposing, your sun in Taurus, or your moon in Taurus. Okay, so don't don't go through your Facebook birthdays and find out who's born in November and go, oh, there's the problem. It's not going to be like that. The energy, we're talking energy here. So intense, manipulative, coercive. On the higher end, like a very spiritual person. But in the opposite position, with these other cards, I think this is someone who's standing in your way. Someone is standing in the way of your happiness. Okay? And you're not happy about that. Who would be? Okay. And and the final outcome for this month is a tough card. Is Arcanum 15. Reversed. Again, not more negative, but more difficult to manage, perhaps. Okay. In Brotherhood of Light Tarot, Arcanum 15 is known as the Black Magician. It's a pretty intense dragon there and chains and so forth. And this is the Saturn card. So Saturn is responsibility, depression, responsibility. So the more you're able to, how do we mitigate this? Venus energy. Okay, your natural energy of Taurus is Venus. You want things to be beautiful and orderly. You respond to flowers and nature. Okay, all the great Venus things. In the Hermetic teachings, right, we apply the opposite energy to mitigate the influence. So it asks you, the more you can do that, put some flowers out. I have this orchid here, a yellow orchid, because Venus is the antidote planet for Saturn, and Saturn is the most difficult planet in my chart. So to decorate my office, I put a yellow orchid in. It's out of shot here. It's kind of big, but I'm going to show it to you because it's beautiful. And it's in a yellow pot. So yellow, here it is. It's a bit too tall for the shot, so I don't leave it in. I don't usually go break the fourth wall here and go out of camera. But that's what you could do. Okay, Taurus, it's exactly the right energy for you. Yellow is Taurus. Yellow is Taurus. Flowers, beauty, that's Venus. That's also the ruler of Taurus, and it's exactly the antidote to Saturn. Okay, so use that kind of thinking, antidote thinking, to try to mitigate this influence. Okay, so what are the warning signs? Do not be manipulated. Okay, if someone's trying to manipulate you, coerce you, get you to do something you don't want to do, that's the warning sign. Okay, go back to the action that you're going to take on your own behalf. Okay, and if that's leaving a situation behind, then that's what's going to happen. Okay, no amount of coercion or intensity or acting out. I mean, these are all things that, I mean, we all can act out, right? This Scorpio acts out like and wins the Academy Award for it. Okay, I love Scorpios. My daughter's a Scorpio. I love Scorpio, right? I love that intensity sometimes. We all do. Passion, okay? So that's another way of putting this, right? Don't get fooled by it. Okay, sometimes things have to end or they have to change, right? You know, when I say end, I mean it's the end of a situation. It doesn't mean the end of the marriage or the end of a relationship, just the end of how things have been going, which has been not constructive from my point of view, or not fully where you want to be. Don't be afraid of this card, okay? You're used to handling responsibility. All people are, okay? Stay positive about it, okay? You know, if you have to handle responsibility, getting depressed about having to have responsibility is just compounding the responsibility. Okay. Instead, you could, feel satisfaction of handling the responsibility. Okay. Let's pull some cards because I want to find a bit more here. This is the Wild Unknown Archetype deck. I'm going to pull a couple of those. I'm going to pull at least one of those. Okay. To see if we can't get some clarity on this. I'm going to ask for clarity. Then I'm going to ask for an archetype for you to drop in to help you manage it. So, Eternal Spirit, could we have some clarity for Taurus on this reading for the next month? I desire to know the truth, the best for Taurus, all those concerned, the world and the universe. Desire to know the truth. What's going on here for Taurus that they can hold on to? Because there are forces here opposing you, Taurus. I desire to know the truth for Taurus. What's a clarifying card for Taurus we could give Taurus to help them in this difficult month ahead? Difficulty. Now, I shuffle and cut the cards 3 times. When one pops out, I don't use it. I wait to cut my cards. Just how I do it. Sometimes the same card comes up, right? Desire to know the truth for Taurus. How can they handle this situation, which has its ups and downs? It's not all difficult, right? Desire to know the truth. The cave. Time to draw a circle around yourself, Taurus. Okay, let's read the cave. Then I'm going to give you another archetype card as a way to not just manage the situation, but thrive in this situation. Because even difficult situations are an opportunity to be our best. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. Change, right? An end is not the end. It could be a new beginning. It's not a definitive end. It's over. It's just be a new chapter, right? It's a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Compassion and self-understanding. There's a lot of that, right? I mean, that could be compassion too. Okay. Self-understanding. I love that. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where's your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend the fire. Here we are at the party, and you got to go and tend to the fire in your cave. Love it. Love it. Tend to the fire in your cave. Draw a circle around yourself. Retreat into your emotional states and understand as a point of understanding, not as a point of depression. Right? This is solitude also. Right? Solitude. I love that. Okay. These cards never fail to inspire me. Okay. Eternal Spirit. What archetype can Taurus use this month to help them gain the most success out of this up and down reading? I desire to know the truth. Ups and downs reading. Changeable reading. There's good stuff here, Taurus. Just have to find a way through the difficult stuff to get there. Archetype for Taurus for this month. I desire to know the truth. If the cave pops up again, you'll know that's the one. I always try to find another card here for you. Well, it's not up to me. I'm the messenger, okay? I'm not in charge of any of this stuff. I just know how to read. That's it. And I care. I care about you. I care about giving a really truthful message. And I hope that you find some value in what I have to say. What's the archetype for Taurus for this month? I desire to know the truth. Eternal Spirit. Okay, what did we come up with? The Castle. Okay. Ooh, look at that. I pulled two. So really, it wasn't the castle. They were stuck together. It's the box. Okay, I'm going to look at both of them. You know, that's against my religion on some level, these accidents, but somehow I pulled two. But the box was the card that was first. So let's have a look at that one, because that seems related to the cave, right? XL. My Roman numeral reading has degenerated since elementary school, so pardon me while I struggle through it here. If I ever design a tarot deck, it's just going to have regular numbers. Oh, gee whiz. XL. There we go. The box. I love that. Right in the center, right, is this jewel. Just like in your center. We all live to some degree within the confines of the box. This archetype represents everything that is known, anticipated, and expected. It holds us in place while simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. The box is sneaky, insidious, and everywhere, limiting us at the most unconscious level. It's built upon of layer upon layer of social constructs and pressures. Breaking through its confines requires awareness, continued effort, and bravery. You know, this is fear, so you're going to have some courage here, for sure. Box may appear, and here. Courage to tell the truth, to yourself first and to others next. Box may appear as expectations from parents. Expectations, right? Watch out for expectations. I whispered that, so that must be important. A well-paying but heartless job, the pressure to look or behave like others or simply to stay small. There's a box around you now made of some type of confining thought. What is it? The box shifts and morphs after we grow. This is part of the multi-layered nature. Once you break through one layer, another will present itself to keep you going. Breakthrough. An exquisite life requires it. So there's limitations, right? Limitations, right? So it's saying break through those limitations, because there is an opportunity here to move forward, to move everything forward. It's only in relation to these emotional states and perhaps being manipulated that we get stuck, that you get stuck. Okay, I'm going to look at the castle too, and then we'll pull you an inspiration card. Oh, more Roman numerals. Holy bananas. Okay. This one seems less daunting. Ah, there we are. These cards are almost, oh, they're beside each other. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, this deck has been shuffled hundreds of times, and yet I got two cards that were right beside each other. Well, what does that mean to me? That means that there's a progression here, right? Like you're at a certain point in this path, right? That needs a progression. It's no wonder fairy tales tell of sleeping princesses within castle walls. Like most archetypes, the castle is loaded with duality. It represents abundant riches, abundance, riches, abundance, seductive fantasy, seduction, ornate wonders and lavish adornments. Yet the walls are thick, cold, and shadowy. Thick, cold, and shadowy. The card points to a tendency to hold on to possessions, quite possibly a literal home or position that project the image of achievement. Gotta give it up. There's a sacrifice here. While the soul longs to run barefoot in the forest, leaving it all behind. At times we must settle down, yet the castle lulls us with its spell of materialism. Materialism. It's literally materialism. Okay? Don't be lulled with the spell of materialism, and we fall asleep to our deepest dreams. The castle can be a motivating force, an enchanting goal to travel forward, but it is best not to linger within its walls of decadent deception for too long. So it has to do with visiting your throne of power, like going inward, but also not to get stuck and depressed. Okay? This is really profound to me. Okay, let's do one more card, Taurus. Hope you're doing okay. You know, there's nothing. In a couple of weeks, I'll do another reading for you, and we'll see where we're at. If you like, if this resonates with you, let me know, okay? And you can like, subscribe to my channel. In 2 weeks, we'll do an update. There's also some previous Taurus readings. You're welcome to have a look at those. Just getting going on the channel. We went from 0 followers to, tens of followers, and hopefully that progression will continue over the next little while. So thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. Eternal Spirit, what inspiration can we offer Taurus this month to help them manage these ups and downs and the tougher situations here? A desire to know the truth. Inspiration for Taurus. Desire to know the truth. It's best for Taurus, the world, and the universe. We desire to know the truth for Taurus. Eternal Spirit, thank you for your messages today and your gifts. Sometimes I think that, let me just finish this. Desire to know the truth. Sometimes I think when I get tougher readings, I'm actually getting real insights, When everything looks rosy, it seems to be a disconnect from most days. Adventures. All progress, all challenges are part of our journey here, right? Where we're trying to develop our characters, right? Our spiritual bodies. Okay? Taurus, don't give up hope. Don't get stuck in depression or negative thinking. Think about the action here that's going to lead to your greatest happiness. I love you, Taurus. Have a great month. Talk to you soon. Peace.